Hello and welcome to this tutorial on getting started with Adobe Photoshop. In this video, we'll begin by learning how to create a new document and then take a closer look at the Photoshop interface. The first step in Photoshop is to create a new document. To do this, let's start by opening Photoshop. Once the application is open, you'll be greeted with the home screen. On the left side of the screen, you'll see the option labeled Create New. Click on that. This will open up the new document window. Here you can choose from a variety of preset templates or create a custom document. You'll notice a few key sections here. Preset sizes. On the top, you can choose from common sizes for photos, prints, web, and more. Document name. You can give your document a name by entering it in the top field. Width and height. Set the dimensions of your canvas in pixels, inches, or other units. Resolution. For web graphics, 72 pixels per inch is recommended, but for print, you'll want a higher resolution, like 300 pixels per inch. Color mode. Choose between RGB for web and CMYK for print. Background contents. You can set the background to white, transparent, or a custom color. Once you've chosen your settings, click Create to start your new document. Now that we've created a new document, let's take a look at the interface. Photoshop's interface is divided into several key areas. Menu bar. At the very top, you'll find the menu bar. This is where you can access all of Photoshop's functions, from opening files to applying filters. You'll see options like File, Edit, Image, Layer, and more. These are where most of your tools and functions are located. Toolbar. On the left side, you have the toolbar. This contains tools for selecting, drawing, editing, and much more. You'll use these tools to directly interact with your canvas. Options bar. Just beneath the menu bar, you'll see the options bar. This changes depending on which tool you have selected, offering additional settings for each tool. Panels. On the right side, you'll see the panels. These include essential features like layers, colors, properties, and more. You can open or close panels based on what you need by going to the window menu in the menu bar. The canvas area. The largest section in the center is your canvas, where your document or project is displayed. This is where you'll be doing your actual editing work. Before starting your work, it's important to set up the workspace according to your design needs. To do this, navigate to the window menu and select Workspace. In the Workspace menu, you'll find several options like Essentials, 3D, Graphics, and Web, and more. I recommend always setting the workspace to Essentials, as it provides all the necessary tools and panels to begin your design tasks efficiently. If at any point you accidentally lose a panel or tool, simply go back to the window menu, choose Workspace, and select the Reset option to restore the default layout. Now let's focus on how to manage the tool panel in Photoshop. If the tool panel is collapsed into a single column or icons only, you can expand it by clicking on the double arrow icon located at the top right corner of the tool panel. To collapse the tool panel back into a smaller icon-only view, click on the double arrow icon at the top right corner of the panel. This will reduce the panel width to show only the tool icons, saving screen space. Some tools in Photoshop have additional options or variations that are hidden under a single icon. To reveal these tools, click the right mouse button on the tool icon in the tool panel. A flyout menu will appear, showing all the related tools. For example, the brush tool may have additional options like the pencil tool or the clone stamp tool. To recognize the shortcut keys of the tools, hover your cursor over any tool icon in the tool panel. A tooltip will appear, displaying the name of the tool along with its shortcut key. I recommend keeping the tool panel in the expanded mode if you frequently use multiple tools or need to quickly switch between them. This setup allows for easier access to all tools and reduces the time spent navigating through hidden options. You can also undock and dock the tool panels. Click and hold the top of the tool panel where the tool names or icons are displayed. Drag the panel away from its docked position. As you drag the panel away from the edge, it will become a floating window. Release the mouse button when it is positioned where you want it. The undocked tool panel can be moved around freely and placed anywhere on your screen. This is useful if you prefer a more customized workspace or need to use multiple monitors. If the tool panel is currently floating or undocked, you can dock it by dragging it to the edge of the workspace. As you drag the panel towards the edge, you'll see a blue highlight or outline indicating where it will dock. Once the blue highlight appears in the desired position, typically on the left side of the workspace, release the mouse button to dock the panel. Now let's focus on managing your document, including how to save it and methods for zooming and panning. To save your document as a Photoshop file, simply follow these steps. Click on File in the top menu bar, choose Save As from the drop-down menu. Alternatively, use Ctrl-Shift-S on Windows or Command-Shift-S on Mac. In the Save As dialog box, select photoshop.psd.pd from the Format drop-down menu. Enter a name for your document in the File Name field. Select the location where you want to save the file. It's not advisable to save your files and folders on the desktop or the C drive. I always recommend saving them to a different drive on your computer for better organization and security. For the time being, I'm using the desktop to save files while teaching you. However, for better organization and security, it's best to save your files to a different drive on your computer. Click the Save button to save your document as a PSD file. This format preserves all layers, adjustments, and other editing features. When you focus on the title bar after saving the document, it displays the name of the open document. It indicates the file format, such as PSD. You can also identify the color mode of the document, which is often shown next to the file format. Now, let's focus on document navigation options. Press and hold the Alt key or Option key on Mac. Use the scroll wheel on your mouse to scroll up. This will zoom in on the document. Press and hold the Alt key or Option key on Mac. Use the scroll wheel on your mouse to scroll down. This will zoom out from the document. Alternatively, press Ctrl plus Command plus on Mac to zoom in on the document, and press Ctrl Mas or Command Nice on Mac to zoom out from the document. To pan the document, hold down the space bar on your keyboard to temporarily switch to the hand tool. Click and drag to pan across the document. Release the space bar to return to your previous tool. If you press Ctrl-0, Command-0 on Mac, you can quickly fit the entire document to your screen. You can also go to View, Fit on Screen to achieve the same result. The title bar itself is not typically undocked, but you can undock the document window. Click and drag the Documents tab away from the main Photoshop window to float it freely. To dock a floating document back into the main window, drag it back to the workspace until you see a blue highlight indicating where it will dock. Then release the mouse button. Now let's focus on how to manage the panel area in Photoshop. To collapse the entire panel area, click the double arrow icon located at the top right corner of the panel. This will minimize the panels into icons, saving screen space. To expand the panel area again, click the double arrow icon. This will bring the panels back to full view, showing all panel names and content. You can undock any panel by clicking and dragging its tab away from the main panel area. Once you drag it out, the panel becomes a floating window, which can be repositioned anywhere on your screen. To dock the floating panel back, drag it to the panel area until you see a blue highlight indicating where it will snap into place. Release the mouse button, and the panel will dock back into the workspace. In Photoshop, there are 3 screen modes that allow you to change how the workspace and document are displayed. Here's an explanation of each. Standard screen mode. This is the default mode in Photoshop. It shows the document window with the menu bar, panels, and toolbars visible. Press F to toggle to the next available screen mode. This is another screen mode, full screen with menu bar. Press F key again if want to toggle to the full screen mode. Likewise, press F to toggle through screen modes. Before you start working in Photoshop, make sure certain options are enabled in the View menu for a smoother workflow. If the option is enabled, you'll see a tick mark beside it. Here are the options to check. Go to View and ensure the following are enabled. Extras helps display additional visual guides. Ruler shows rulers along the top and side of the workspace. Snap makes objects snap to guides, grids, or document bounds for precision. Go to Show, Smart Guides, and make sure Smart Guides are enabled. These help you align objects as you move them around the workspace. Go to Snap To and ensure options like guides, layers, document bounds, etc. are enabled. This will help in aligning and positioning objects with accuracy. To close the document, Locate the Document tab, click the X icon to close the document. If there are unsaved changes, Photoshop will prompt you to save them before closing. To open a document, press Ctrl-O on Windows or Command-O on Mac. Select the PSD file that you want to open and click Open. That wraps up today's lesson on managing your workspace and navigating through Photoshop's essential tools and features. Now that you know how to customize your panel area, manage screen modes, and enable important view options, you're ready to work more efficiently. Take some time to practice these techniques to get comfortable with the workspace. Once you're confident, feel free to move on to the next lesson, where we'll dive deeper into more advanced tools and techniques. Great job today! Let's continue building your skills in the next session.